Hi Scorpio, Sun, Moon, Ascendant, and Venus. This is Dane, and I'm going to be doing a very special reading for you. Now, I ask if this reading resonates with you. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. It helps me out tremendously, so thank you so very much for doing so. And if you're interested in a private reading, a private personalized meditation, a healing, or a gift card, check out my website, daneharttarot.com. It's linked in the description box below. So now let's see what the tarot has to say, angels and spirit guides. So we have the Queen of Pentacles at the heart of it all. We have the 10 of Cups. We have the 2 of Wands, angels, and spirit guides. Show me clearly. We have the Queen of Wands. We have the Wheel of Fortune. Repeat of the number 10. That's a good sign. Angels and spirit guides. Show me clearly. The High Priestess. The 7 of Wands, angels, and spirit guides. The Fool. The 4 of Cups, angels, and spirit guides. Show them clearly. The 2 of Pentacles and the Moon. Okay, let me move this over just a bit so you guys can see everything just a little bit better. I hope. Let's see here. Okay, so you might be asking, Dane, what is this big event? So we are coming to the end of a 165-year cycle. This is the last time we will see this in our lifetimes, and in actually many a lifetime. What we're going to see is that Neptune is going retrograde, re-entering into Pisces for the last time. It will then start a new 14-year cycle. It has been in Aries for a bit of time, which hasn't been in Aries going retrograde or not, or going direct since like the late 1800s. So hasn't been in Aries going retrograde since the late 1800s. And what we're going to see is that this energy shift, we're going from the energy of bringing dreams into reality. Now, as we go back into Pisces, as Neptune goes back into Pisces, okay, Neptune rules Pisces. When Neptune goes back into Pisces, you're going to see the dissolving of illusions that keep us from divine truth. And this is a big deal. This is a big deal because the challenge here is like our happily ever after, right? And so what we're going to be seeing is ourselves moving towards what makes us truly happy, what makes us truly confident, what we truly want in our lives. And then using the Neptune energy, and Neptune is all about imagination, spirituality, oneness, and divine inspiration. That's also what Pisces is all about because Neptune rules Pisces. What we're going to see is that Aries is all about bringing it into reality, right? It's all about selfhood, courage, initiation, and connecting with that intuition and initiation and bringing things forward. So we have here the Queen of Pentacles, Earth sign energy, Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn. Okay, if you have Earth sign energy in your chart, that's going to come out a bit more. If you don't, it's totally okay. There's no need to worry because the Queen of Pentacles is prosperity and success. It's grounding yourself. It's saying, this is what I want in my world. This is how I'm moving forward for myself. These are the seeds that I'm planting for my dreams and the dreams of those to come. And the Queen of Pentacles, crowned by love, move forward in prosperity, success, and bounty. She nurtures, she grows the garden, okay? What we're going to be seeing here is that we're growing the garden. We're growing what it is that we truly desire. And we're saying, yes, I can. Yes, I can do this. This is a time where you're also going to find that you want things to look a certain way. So beautiful things are going to be very important to you, Scorpio. So being aware of that, knowing that when you surround yourself with beauty or when you make things beautiful for you, like having little rituals to things that make it beautiful, like a cup of tea in your favorite mug or, sitting down to eat instead of like standing at the counter and going really fast to get back to things. Calming and centering yourself during this time is going to make a world of difference. And it brings us to the challenge. And I kind of pause because I don't like the challenge being the 10 of Cups. Why? Because this is my favorite card. And I love it. And I want it to be everybody's everything. The 10 of Cups is then they all live happily ever after. And having a challenge with living happily ever after sounds kind of stinky. But also, what we're seeing is we're letting go and we're dissolving the chains that have bound us to things that have kept us from our dreams. So it has been a challenge to have our happily ever after. It has been a challenge to fully embrace what our heart wants. We can even find it challenging within ourselves to say, this is what I love. This is what I want. We could be like, oh, no, I can't want that. Or, oh, no, I'm being too silly or I'm being too greedy. Remember, do no harm. Walk gently on this earth. Move forward with love and with kindness and respect. And if you do those things, embrace what you love. If you're not hurting anybody, and you are raising your energy vibration, right? You're doing good works, right? Move forward in love, move forward in connection. I love this card. It always makes me think of, I always heard it as an old Nordic saying, better to be king of a castle than servant in a palace. And better to be king of your life, happy, contented queen of your life, than servant to it. It brings us then, so we've had a challenge with that, right? The challenge of accumulating more things, the challenge of, moving forward in like being seen or other people's egos. And we're rooted now to the doors opening. We're rooted now during this time as we connect with our divine truth, and we dissolve what isn't right for us. We start to open up doors, and we start to look at, what do I want in my future? What do I want for myself? And don't be macabre and be like, oh, I don't get to have a future. No, you do. Like every day we wake up, that's our future. That is beautiful. Here, there's a sense of, I'm opening the door to me, to what I love, to what I want. And I'm looking at what I want to build within myself, for myself, what I desire. And as you're embracing this energy, as you're seeing this for yourself, the energy that is moving behind, or that we're leaving behind, is the Queen of Wands. And the Queen of Wands, fire sign energy, Aries, Leo, Sagittarius. So you're born on the cusp with Sagittarius, okay? If you have fire sign energy in your chart, that could have been very prominent during like up till really, really recently, right? Passion, fire, determination. That was what was guiding you. But you will also see that a lot of your passions have been coming back to the surface. A lot of things that have inspired you, that have moved you forward, that have made you look at things differently. Now, this is also the Aries energy that Neptune was in, stepping out of Aries into Pisces. And then we'll step back into Aries again on the 10th of December, right? So we're going to step back into that energy powerfully and permanently around that time. And what you're going to see here is that there's a real sense of insight, intuition, understanding, guiding you forward. That there was a sense of coming back to where your magic is, to where your power is. And the fact that it's Queen energy is very interesting. It doesn't matter how you identify yourself, right? That's not the point of the tarot. Actually, the tarot doesn't care at all. What it's connecting with is the sense of nurturing energy. What you want to be doing is nurturing yourself on this earthly plane with the pentacles, with the wands. What you want to be doing is building yourself forward in a way that's prosperous and passionate, in a way that's money and work. We can boil it down to those things. So builds prosperity and fuels your purpose. And it brings us then, so you've had a light shined on things, right? You're moving forward in your magic, you're moving forward in your greater understanding. It moves us then to the Wheel of Fortune. And the Wheel of Fortune, this is your strength. This is the fact that your fortune is changing. This is the fact that the wheel is turning. But your strength here, Scorpio, is not that, oh, my fortune is changing, like that's my strength. No, it is the fact that you can stand through shifts in energy, stand through and thrive during a time of transition, during a time of change. And by thriving, it doesn't mean that you have to be, maybe thriving is the wrong word, but like you ride those waves relatively smoothly compared to others. So it might be very traumatic to you inwardly when we go through a shift, especially when we're going into the high priestess, right? We're going into a spiritual shift, a spiritual awakening, a sense of power, a sense of intuition, a sense of drive guiding you forward. Inwardly, there could be a whole tempest of emotions coming forward. People look at you, Scorpio, and they're like, oh, you're fine. You've got this. There's no need to worry. So being aware is going to be super important here, that your strength is riding the waves of transition with grace and with elegance, because you are a person of transitions. You are a person who has always connected with the thin veil of reality, right? The thin veil of our waking world and the spirit world. And that is very potent and that is very powerful for you. And it brings us then to the high priestess. So your strength is this change and the ability to change and the ability to morph with the world, right? It's not changing your beliefs or what you want, but it's saying, okay, where do I want to be? Like, how do I want to move forward? There's a fluidity to you that I'm seeing during this time that will serve you very, very well. It moves us then to the high priestess, which is your near future. And that is the veil being lifted from your eyes. That's you seeing what it is that you want and what it is that you're going after. It's also getting what you want, but not necessarily in the way that you had originally imagined. And that is going to be quite okay. What you're looking at here is you're looking at the deeper sense of your dreams. You're also looking at the shift in energy. What had held you in this waking world that said, oh, this is what success looks like, and it's not me. You know, this is what prosperity looks like, and it's not for me. You know, what made it so that when you were reaching for the star, we kind of like pulled back a little bit and said, oh no, I couldn't possibly. Now this is going to be the time where you say, oh yes, I can. Because if not me, then who, right? Why somebody else over myself? It is a time where you're looking at your passions and you're looking at your dreams and you're looking at what it is that you want. And things are becoming more clear. You're also connecting more deeply with spirit, spirit's intuition, spirit's guidance. And there's a sense of tenacity driving you forward. There's also a sense of like, but this is your purpose. This is what you're going after. This is what you want for yourself. And there's a glory to you. There's a passion to you. There's an insight to you that's opening up doors. And as you do so, the atmosphere, the advice here is like, don't step on every crack, right? My great grandma would always say, don't step on every crack. You'll never get to the other side. And that's going to be really important here because we can. Oh, Scorpio, we can remember. We have a list. We've checked it twice. We know who wronged us. We know who didn't. What good is that going to serve us? What you're going to see here is that you're standing for what you believe in. You're standing for what you want. And you're moving forward with a level of insight, with a level of understanding that is tremendous. It's like, oh, that's what this is for. This is where I want to be. This is what I want. And as you do so, you're setting yourself free. And that's what this shift back into Pisces does. Like Pisces is the calm waters, but Pisces is the fact that when we're in Pisces energy, when Neptune is in Pisces energy, the imagining of something is as powerful as the actual doing of it. You know when you're really hungry, or maybe that's like, or when you're really hungry and you are really busy at the exact same time, and you're like, oh, I have to go to lunch, or I have to have lunch. And then you think about it, and you go back into your work, and you get so caught up, and you're like, did I have lunch? Did I not have lunch? Why am I so hungry? But you didn't eat, but you just thought about it. And it was like enough for your brain at that moment to be like, okay, kind of satisfied, get back into what you're doing type of deal. That's what this energy is like. This energy is like, I'm hungering for something. But if I imagine that I eat it, imagine that I have it, it's good enough, right? It almost feels like I did it. But, that's the energy that I'm getting here. It's like when you watch somebody do something like, and you're like, oh, I feel really satisfied. It's almost like I did that, and you didn't. So here, that energy is just going to be here. So just be aware of that during this time. That can be a little bit tricky. And what you're going to see is that you're looking at what you need to let go, like what's haunting you. Kind of think of the Cranberries song, Zombies, right? I love that song so much. Think of the zombies that are in your head, that are holding you back, that aren't in the reality anymore, that aren't there in our faces. And here, that song is so beautiful and so haunting and so powerful. What you're going to be seeing is you're taking a leap of faith forward. The atmosphere of this time is a sense of, I need to jump. I need to go after what I want. I need to do it now. I just need to. And it's beauty and its expression and its power and its force and its insight. And it's opening up doors to new ideas that you hadn't imagined you could have. Or things that you thought, oh, well, that was a childhood dream, or that was childish. It isn't important anymore. It's like, no, now it's really important. Now I move forward in this power. This is also something you didn't know you could do. Like as the doors open, at the root of it all, like as the door opened, it's like, oh, I can do this. I can have this. I can be this. And it brings us then to the energy to be mindful of, because not mindful of, but it's like our fear and our hopes all wrapped into one. And we're going to be so focused on certain things, Scorpio, that it's like, this is what I have to do. This is exactly where it needs to be. And we're going to be a bit unyielding. Not our normal kind of like, flow, go around the rock if we need to type of energy, but like, no, we will crush that rock, right? We'll make it into sand instantaneously. But Spirit's going to call you on a different path, a different way of seeing things, a different knowledge forward. And it's going to inspire you. It's like, oh, wow. But is first going to be a gigantic pain in the tush. Like, really, seriously, you're going to look at things and be like, are you kidding me? No, thank you. Like, no, thank you. I have my path. I know what it is that I want. You're asking me to, like, kind of turn things on its head. And Spirit's like, yeah. Kind of like I double dog dare you to, yeah. Let's see what happens. And you're going to be surprised. You're going to be pleasantly surprised. And this isn't like, quit your job, join the circus, run into a field type of thing. It's going to be much more aligned with you. Excuse me, much more gradual. And it's a sense of, oh, but this is what I needed. Now, just let me take a sip of tea. Oh, sorry about that. And it leads us then to the outcome. We have the dual outcome. This is Pisces. This is Pisces energy that's showing us what we need to balance. This is Pisces energy saying to us, our world's opening. We're looking at things so differently than we have before. We're setting ourselves free. And even though everything isn't as illuminated as maybe we would want it to be, as the sun illuminates it, the illumination is guiding. The illumination is insightful. The illumination is powerful. And we're finding a balance. We're finding a harmony into ourselves. Emotions are going to run high. Everything is not going to be as clear. There's going to be sneakiness. So just be aware of that, especially from two people that, kind of like to rock the waters. They just do. They're going to be a bit of a trouble stirrers. Okay? You have a strong connection to Pisces energy. February 19th to March 20th is the time frame. But you also have the strong energy to Neptune in Pisces, where it feels at home to dream, where it feels at home to believe in the spectacular. Oh, I apologize. So let's see what Spirit has to say. Angels and Spirit guides, show me clearly. Guide this reading and show me clearly, angels. Focus. Focus on what you love. Focus on what you want. Focus on the purity of your heart, like the sense of like, this is what I'm really passionate about. And it brings us then to the chakra message. Angels and Spirit guides, show me clearly. Guide this reading. Balance. The root chakra. You're coming into balance. Dreams and reality. Sacred feminine, sacred masculine. This way of moving things forward. You're going to be more connected with kind of the building of things, the emotions of things. And that's going to be very good for you. But remember, we can fall into dreams and kind of those dreams can feel like reality. Instead of those dreams being kind of like the psychic visions by Spirit to move us forward into what we want to create within our lives, into what we love. It's showing us, it's kind of like having prophetic dreams. It's showing us what we truly desire. And it's saying, okay, now go forward and bring that into reality. Break all the chains that have held you back, right? Move forward in love, in kindness, in gentleness, in peace, right? And embrace your greatness because you're building it. And then the challenge is not anymore, they all live happily ever after. It's like it becomes, and I live happily ever after. And I embrace my joy and my success. And it brings us then to the energy to be mindful of during this time. Angels and Spirit guides, show me clearly. Guide this reading and show me clearly. The Three of Swords, heartbreaks, pains, disappointments, where you failed. This is why Neptune is going back into Pisces, so that we look at the heartbreaks that we carry, the failures that we carry on our backs, or like the way that we punish ourselves, kind of like Sisyphus, pushing the boulder up the hill every single day to have it fall back down and have to start all over again. What are we doing time and time again that's getting us nowhere? We're releasing negativity, hurt, pain, disappointment. See the heartbreak. See the heartbreak. And know what a warrior you are. Know how you've earned that throne and that crown. Because you are not small and insignificant. You have had your heart broken. And you have gotten up. And you're still here. And that is a glorious thing. It moves us to the subconscious. Spirit message. And this is breathe. Don't forget to breathe. So often, especially when I'm, doing Tai Chi or, anything like that, I forget to breathe. I'm like, I hold my breath and I'm so focused. It's like, no, let yourself breathe. Let yourself flow. Work with the breath. Work with the inspiration. And breath is inspiration. Breath is power. It moves us then to the chakra energy, and it's forgiveness. It's the heart chakra. Forgiveness isn't about forgiving everybody else. It can be, people like that, but it's forgiving yourself. It's forgiving yourself for being young. It's forgiving yourself for not being talented in the ways that people wanted you to be talented. It's forgiving yourself for the cruelty that somebody else did to you. It's forgiving yourself for trusting, for caring, for all these things that make you so gloriously human and so beautifully alive. It's embracing your heart chakra, and it's moving forward in that glory, in that healing. It moves us then to the 10 of Wands, the heartbreak, right? With 3 of Swords, and then the 10 of Wands. What are you carrying? Until life just feels like one endless burden, one endless responsibility, devoid of all joy and all happiness. It's time to let it go. It is. It's time to put down the burdens and say, what am I creating with my life? What do I want? What do I love? And it brings us then to the Page of Wands. At our heart, we are a student, which you might think like, hey, that's not fair. Like I went from queen to student. Yeah. A constant learner. Somebody who's connecting every day with new passions, new understandings, who's not afraid to push the envelope. Because when you're little, you don't realize like, oh, you're not supposed to do that. Like, oh my gosh, everybody has to walk this way. Oh, okay, sure, cool. You're getting messages from spirit. You're embracing a creativity and intuition that's opening up doors for you. And it's pushing you forward, propelling you forward in the most magnificent of ways. You can also have somebody who's a very young energy. They don't have to be a young person, but they are a very young soul. Like they have this exuberance to them. They actually could be a very old soul, but they have this exuberance to them where they teach through the joy of their existence. And that is really cool. That is really cool. All right, Scorpio. I hope this reading has resonated with you. I wish you nothing but light, love, peace, and happiness. May harmony always be with you. I am sending loving, healing energy to each and every one of you. I love you all, and stay safe. Bye.